Hello and welcome to the instructions for how to tie a no-sew fleece blanket. You'll notice that each of the blankets will be made from two pieces of fleece that are different colors. In the case of this model, one side is orange and one side is blue. The first thing you'll notice is that the corners are cut out of each of the sets of fleece blankets, and your job today will be to cut strips and tie them. The first thing is to cut strips that are 1 inch wide and as long as, if you drew an imaginary line, up to the top of the square. You don't really need to have a straight edge. You can eyeball it and estimate, but each of the strips is going to be about 5 inches long and 1 inch wide. If you're not sure how big an inch is, you can use your fingers to figure it out. If you have thin fingers, maybe just 2 fingers width is big enough. If you have bigger hands, your thumb width is probably about 1 inch. Just be careful if you're using your fingers to measure your inches. Don't cut yourself. You'll notice that you'll be cutting all the way around the blanket. This is a task that could be done by one person, or there could be people on each side cutting at the same time. Just be careful not to move the fleece and have somebody else make a mistake in their cutting. But you'll be cutting these 1 inch strips all the way around the entire blanket. Notice when you get close to the end of a row, you might want to just figure out exactly how many more strips you can do. Just make sure you're cutting through both layers. Then to tie the blanket, it's pretty easy. You're just going to take the 2 strips, one on top of the other, and tie square knots. In the case of how I do it on this model, I take the top color, the orange one, go around, go underneath the blue strip, and then I grab the blue one, and then that one goes over the top. So you can just sort of watch and see how I've tied them here. If you don't do the knots exactly like this, it won't affect the integrity of the blanket. It'll just look a little bit different. I'd like to remind you that these blankets are going to be going to some people that really can use it, and I'd just like to encourage you, as you're tying the blankets and you tie the knots, say a prayer for the person who will enjoy the warmth of this blanket. When you get to the end, you'll be finished. One last one and it's done. And then you have created a beautiful tied fleece blanket. Again, thank you for your help. We hope that you enjoy this experience.